They come to our aid, especially when we're walking in the light. This is why I'm not afraid to do what I'm doing, not afraid to go to Texas, not afraid to go to New York, not afraid. I may not want to go to certain other places on the planet, but I mean, there's no fear in going where I want to go. Because, like I said, if I was supposed to leave this earth, I would have already done that through other things that I faced when I was younger, other challenges, other times where I feel there was an intervening force that made sure I made it the way home to the next day, to the next year of my life. As I look towards the future, I realize as long as I'm walking with the light and I'm speaking what needs to be said and I'm working to help educate and help heal and influence people to love more and judge less and have more compassion, whether it be towards the victims of war in the Middle East or towards each other here in the United States, by putting out good energy, that is helping you prepare for the future. You know, I've been into survivalism, preparedness for years, and I got to this point where that's a very small part of this. That's about being independent from the New World Order itself. That's being independent from having to become a cannibal if there's no food. That's why you want to be prepared. You don't want to go out and rob someone, but that's a very small fraction of this. There's more to life than worrying about losing your physical body or your flesh, because we're more than flesh. It's about the deeds. It's about your actions. It's about how you live your life while you're given life here on earth and never taking it or anything or any blessing for granted. I walk towards the future with no fear, with the faith that this is the path in life that I need to remain on. And any other distraction, any other temptation must be eliminated from the path that I walk upon in order to get to the next place, in order to get to the next experience. So you can learn something from the awakening taking place. You can become a part of it. You can realize that you don't have to view yourself the way that you viewed yourself up until this point. That you can tap into another field of energy, that you can understand why you're here on earth, why you have the dreams that you have, why you have the questions that you have, why you know the things that you know, that you're capable of doing the things that you can do, that you can paint the things that you can paint, that you can speak the way you can speak, you can play music the way you play music, that you are a part of the same oneness, the same creative energy. You're not just human. There's no such thing as just human. It doesn't exist. Didn't exist that way yesterday, today, nor will it in the future. We're far more than just merely humans. All this stuff is coming up to a head in our lifetimes. And that's what makes all of this so very exciting. These are not boring times. These are not dull moments. These are not times to absorb ourselves in more video games and more movies. And in some cases, it's not a time to jump from relationship to relationship, from person to person, but to really focus inwardly and tap into that creative potential that is the true free energy. And a lot of people talk about free energy devices and all the different types of stuff that modern technological guru wizards have cooked up in their basement, so we can actually live off of oil, because we don't actually have to be on oil. But it's the whole real true idea of free energy, applying it to our biological human computer operating systems and unleashing that, what we can do with matter, what we can alter. And that's what's very, very interesting about this organic biological matrix that we live in. It is our Frankenstein. We could try to argue our way out of that. We could try to intellectually debate our way out of that using either science or religion. But this is ultimately, including the New World Order, our Frankenstein. And when you get down to the basics, what do you find? You find a population now of billions of people, 7 billion of men and women. Sure, there's machines here, there's dogs, there's cats, there's horses, but ultimately within the Homo sapien family on a biological level, there are men and women. So we must be vigilant. We must love one another. We must extend compassion towards one another. We must love the real man or woman within, be in touch with both our male and female sides, and we must respect, cherish, defend, and of course, protect the true male and female in others. Not hold them down because we're afraid of what they'll become, or not try to control them and tell them who they can see and not see because we're afraid out of insecurity that we're gonna lose something. We have to address and accept the blessings that have been given to us, but if they're meant for us to have, there is no reason why we should try to hold on to something or control something. Reality, my life, your life, everyone here on earth is collectively experiencing a very fluid experience. It's moving, it's changing, there are waves coming here, they're crashing. Sometimes it's fun to ride up on the wave, sometimes it's scary. Bill Hicks has his own analogy about us believing this is the only reality and the ups and downs and swings, but we must remember it's an illusion, albeit though a persistent one that must be in our world for a reason. These perceived ups and downs, good and bad, the duality of all things, God and the devil. We are here in the flesh, now witnessing great evil that I believe has been on this earth for a very long time, seeking to create its own technological new world order system with all humans enslaved. And now we have the choice. We can become a part of the new world without a new world order, which is growing by the day. People forming their own communities, their own bartering systems, new relationships, not based on greed, but based out of love. We can join the new energy movement, or we could try to hold up the system. We could try to hold up the big banks because we're afraid of what life will be like without them. Oh, the government's too big to fail. The military's too big to fail. America's too big to fail. Just hold up the whole system, the old system that's been oppressing us because we're scared of what life will be like without the shackles keeping us safe. Well, those shackles are about to be ripped off one day in your life, potentially. I think more than likely. And then you'll get to find out what it's really like to be in your own power. I've talked enough. I'd like to talk more, but I'm actually glad that at least we got out a new episode, so you're not hearing the same old reruns from last month or the month before. It is my intention to keep giving Portland Community Media new content. If you'd like to see this show in the future, go ahead and give PCM a call at 503-288-1515. That's 503-288-1515, and express your desire to continue to see outside the box. I look forward to sharing my thoughts with you from Dallas, Texas. Again, this is a very different, strange experience for me, but an experience that I believe is meant to happen. So you can also find out what I'm talking about, what news I'm covering at my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Alex Ansary. Also, youtube.com TVAMN RevBox. I'm going to say that again. This is the new YouTube channel for some of you. That's where I'm putting up the UNN Newsroom information. It's youtube.com/TVAMN RevBox, REVBOXX. Well, we're all out of time, folks. I want to thank you again for joining me. Until next time, I'm Alex Ansary reminding you the path to the ultimate truth and source of power still lies within. Good night and good luck.
Tonight's talk is consciousness, creativity, and the brain. And if you have a golf ball-sized consciousness, when you read a book, you'll have a golf ball-sized understanding. When you look out, a golf ball-sized awareness. And when you wake up in the morning, a golf ball-sized wakefulness. But if you could expand that consciousness,
Matter seems like a good place to begin. The solidity of the world seems totally indisputable. As a fixed thing that you can see and touch, your body is also reassuringly solid. But beginning with Einstein, modern physics has assured us that this solidity is a mirage.
All of physical matter, everything we have around us, is the result of a frequency. And what that also means is that if you amplify the frequency, the structure of the matter will change.
What this self-contained system is a hologram. It's what I call the super hologram. Everything within it is an expression of that hologram. This is one of the great characteristics of a hologram, is that every part of a holographic picture is a smaller version of the whole.
It's as if reality is so connected that when you look at one small part, you can see things about other parts, that the entire whole is contained in the part. And in a sense, you can't divide reality up because we're cutting up a hologram. We can't find where one particle is because it's always a reflection of all particles.
In a hologram, the whole pattern is whole and complete unto itself, and if you were to take any little portion of this whole out and examine it closely, you will see the entire pattern repeating itself again and again and again. Anywhere in this pattern, if we were to change one little aspect on any one of these little holograms, that change would be reflected throughout the entire system.
Quantum physics has revealed what ancient masters knew. Matter does not exist. The concept of substance arose from the philosophy of Aristotle, and from that concept came science's conception of matter. The fact of the matter is that the substance of the universe is consciousness. Belief that the substance of the universe is matter leads to what I call a fear-greed dichotomy, as people in their quiet desperation attempt to accumulate as many material possessions and riches as possible. In fact, the substance of the universe is consciousness. Therefore, it is behavior that is important.
If you get into the realms of fear, fear is a very slow, dense vibrational state. And the more you embody fear, and the whole of this manipulated society is globally is structured to make us fear, to make us have stress, to make us worry about tomorrow, and have guilt about yesterday, and forget about now. It brings us into a slow vibrating dense state.
We should be very careful about what we believe about the future. The more you attach to a belief system, the more, if reality is holographic, you're helping create it by believing it. And you know, the great clairvoyant Edgar Cayce said that our every thought, that reality is built out of thought, and our every thought starts to build reality, and we're like, every thought is like a spider, we're like spider spinning web, and that web starts to build and build.
Information is the key, because this matrix, this illusory reality that we think is real, people say to me, what is the matrix? Answer: